We are back on TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We're in the Rollo Insurance Studio. Let's keep it real. We go to the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline. Jordan Pugh joining us to talk all things Texas A&M football. What's up, Jordan? How you doing, man? Oh, I don't hear you. Oh, fail. 1 second. He's going to try to reset that. McKinley, what do you think I was going to ask Jordan? You have to pretend like you know what I'm going to ask him. What do you think?
Something about Aggie football.
Something in particular about Aggie football.
How he feels.
All right, Jordan, she thinks I'm going to ask you something about Aggie football. I was actually going to ask you if you watched the latest documentary on the Lifetime Network. No, I want to know. All right, you texted me during the game, and we had a little back and forth. I think we were both on the same page. We were kind of ticked off at halftime because we're like, we're destroying this team, yet we're losing, right? But I still didn't think they were going to lose. What was kind of your emotions from that point on?
Same thing, self-inflicted wounds, right? Not as many penalties this game, but the penalty factor, but the two turnovers, right, at the inopportune times. That was the part that kind of just, like we had a chance to end it. We should have been up, I want to say 21-9 maybe, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say it's around 21-9. We should have been up at halftime. But when you look at, going into halftime, you saw the momentum kind of swing again. It's kind of similar to that Arkansas game, right? But, man, the way that we came out in the second half, the way we blitzed them in the second half, that was impressive. It's the most impressed I've been in a long time watching us as a football team, because that was a complete team effort from every single phase, offense, defense, special teams. And I think the Craver punt return is what really put that nail in the coffin. It stole all hope away from LSU. But, yeah, man, the emotions were kind of high in that first half because you saw what we were doing. You knew that we had the game in control, but then we just kind of let it slip away. But being able to regroup at halftime, come out in that second half, and I mean just literally just blitz them from jump. That was huge, man. So, it's exciting to see. I'm getting excited. Real excited about the team because, man, everything that we want, everything that we have talked about over the years about how everything is built. We have all the resources. We have the players. It's about just getting the right guy who can steer it in the right direction. This is exciting to see.
Expectations evolve as season plays out, right? So there was a time I was like, all right, they just got to get to 10 wins, right? Like, all right, if you win at LSU, then, you just got to win your home games and you're a 10-win team and a playoff team. That's not how I talk, but that's just, me mimicking a person that would think that way. Yeah. But now that ain't enough. If I'm sitting here at 8-0 in a bye week, and look, of course, if you're 10-2 in the playoffs, we're going to be very happy, right? But I'm saying in the moment, I'm like, why not take it all? Give it all to me. Where are you as an analyst / former player about that?
That's what we're playing for. Mm-hmm. That's been the expectation the entire time. I've been saying it year in and year out. Why can't we have that? Why don't we think that way? Because we have everything that's necessary. At the end of the day, it's about finishing the job. All right, so look, 8 wins on the year, undefeated. We've had our moments. We know what to clean up. We know our weaknesses, but we always overcome them. At this point, so far in the season, we have overcome every single adverse situation that we've been in. But we're right on the cusp. We're right on the brink. The biggest thing now as a coaching staff is, okay, it's not that how can we handle success. It's that can we push forward and break through that last bit, that last wall? And that's the one thing that Elco's trying to get through to the players is break through now. Now it's your time. It's your opportunity. And just, man, looking at everything that we've done, we are a well-rounded football team winning in every facet of the game. We're playing complementary football with each other as a team. We're winning on special teams. We are playing well, and we are a well-oiled unit. Now it's about the breakthrough. It's about, yes, we can do this, the belief factor. And I think that's what's different in this team. You've had the success, but the way that we're winning is building belief. Belief is 99% of the equation. And if you can do that, man, and continue to stay consistent, because you're going to have your ebbs and flows. We play in the SEC. Every team is capable of beating you. But if we can continue to stay consistent, man, everything's in front of us that we want to accomplish. But the first thing we got to do, we got to win the bye week. Then we got to win against Missouri. That's the next thing. Those are the next 2 steps. Forget everything else. Focus on those 2 things right now.
Talk to me about Coach Elco and just like you being a defensive-minded guy, like wanting to play for a guy like him who he's no nonsense. He can be funny. He also doesn't
Yep.
play around with bad questions and he's not about the past life. He's about the future life.
Yeah, about business. I told you, defense is about chaos, organized chaos. And you see that every single week with him. But here's the deal. The biggest thing with him is he has a plan, and he is stuck to that plan, and he has got the people around him in order to help facilitate that plan. And I think that's what's been the recipe of success. So you saw it take place in year one, how he was laying the foundation. Now you're seeing the plan move forward, how he's acquired players, how he's been strategic within the portal, the type of coaching staff that he's brought together. But then you see the game plan each and every week. And it's starting to come to fruition. But most importantly, you're seeing the team get better every single week, from week 1 all the way to week 8 for us. We have improved in every facet, from the offensive side to the defensive side. We even improved a little bit on penalties this week, even though that's still a bugaboo for us, right? But you're seeing the improvement, and that's the thing that is dangerous. When you're playing a team that hasn't peaked yet, when you're playing a team that continues to improve week in and week out, that's when, if you're an opposing unit, you're like, man, I don't know. We got to be on our P's and Q's. And that's what you're seeing with Elco, man. He's very tight-lipped, very structured. But most importantly, he sticks to the plan, and he makes you stick to the standard. That's what's important. And you're seeing that take place in the players on the team.
All right, I can be cheesy on this show and in real life.
Yeah, we do know that.
Yeah, thanks for agreeing.
We still love you, though. We still love you.
You were supposed to say, no, man, you're the hippest guy I know.
Hey, man, I got to be able to speak truths, man.
Yeah,
I can't do that.
you do keep it real. So we know what BAS stands for, right? BAS stands for Battered Aggie Syndrome. Why not believe and succeed, Jordan? Why don't we rebrand it? Because the thing's different. Believe Aggie succeed. Believe it. I don't know. I'm just saying, we're in a new era. And excuse the bad joke with it, but that's where we want to get to, and we're getting closer to believing.
There was a movie I watched this weekend, so I need to preface my statement. Okay, I have 2 daughters. Okay, I have an 8 and a 7-year-old.
I know where this is going.
There's a movie that I watched. Well, actually, 2 movies that come to mind now: The Princess Diaries. Okay. And Miss Congeniality. Okay, why did I bring those 2 up? Because they were always beautiful girls and beautiful women. But then when they found out how beautiful they were, all of a sudden their mindset changed. And that's where we are now at A&M. We are the pretty girl now. Now, we've always had what we needed. We've always had the resource. We've had the fan base. We've had the players. But now we're starting to see the other side of success, because that's the work, the standard, everything that we talked about with Elco that he's put in. Now it's one thing to garner the attention. It's one thing to accept who you are. And I think now what Elco was trying to instill in the players is accepting who we are now. We are the elite. We are one of the top teams in the nation. Act like it and continue to play like it. That's the hard part now. So, man, it's been good. We've been riding high. I always hate bye weeks after a big win. That bothers me as a coach. I want to keep the momentum going. But now, man, acting like we belong, understanding that we belong, but believing that we belong. That is going to be the one thing that I can almost guarantee that he's going to hone in with the messaging in these next 2 weeks, this week with the bye week, and then coming up with the following game. You got to understand who you are. You got to accept who you are, and then you got to act accordingly. That is the next step for us, and that's part of that breakthrough that we're talking about.
This is why I love you. You are the only guy in the world that knows how to mix and miscongeniate, whatever the word is, miscongeniate. I can't say the word. You know what I'm saying? You're that movie and The Princess Diaries.
Miscongeniality. There you go.
Congeniality. Yeah. Hey, I say it with a Spanish accent. It comes out easier. And use it in a football, you painted that picture so perfectly. You're exactly right. And who would have thought? Were you actually thinking that during the movie?
Well, no, it just kind of came to me right now. Look, man, I got 2 girls, and you know how it is being a girl dad. You always have to constantly play the mental game, right? But that's part of coaching. One of the things that I do with the guys that I coach in my program is, man, understanding that you have the greatness in you, but the hardest part is getting them to believe that. Once you believe it, you act accordingly. But man, when you talk about the Battered Aggie Syndrome, it's hope, and the hope gets killed at some point in time in the season. And and the fans are at the brink where they're like, man, I want to believe so bad. We're so close, but they don't want to get their heart broken again. It's the same thing like the pretty girl, man, that the boy has left them, this, that, and the other. But, man, once you realize your superpower, once you realize the greatness that you have, man, you act different, you move different, you prepare different, you play different. There's a different intensity to that. And that's what I think the difference is with Elco being at the helm. I think that he understands that. He's had to fight his way up through the coaching ranks. He's built up different programs, built up different defenses. Now he's putting together for a full staff, full program. And so, man, if we understand who we are as players, I think that we will continue this push, but we have to take it week by week.
Talking to Jordan Pugh here on TexAgs Live. Jordan, it feels really good also to be the program that goes into your house and gets your coach fired. Brian Kelly got fired.
I was gonna say that. You read my mind, man.
Well,
I was gonna text you that, but I was like, I held off. But it does feel good, doesn't it? See, this is the part where the fans need to enjoy it, right? Enjoy the fact that we went in there, beat somebody's butt, and then their coach got let go instead of us, right? We're on the reverse side of this. What you're saying, man, everybody keeps talking about culture, and culture is one of those words where I don't really know what that is, right? I just think that there's standards, and I think that we're finally living up to the standard. And when you do that, man, you have results like that. You have results where you go into somebody else's house, you take over the stadium like our fan base did, and then you get another guy booted. Now, you don't wish for anybody's job to end, of course, but at the end of the day, this is a competition. It's me versus you. And I think taking on that mentality as a program, man, you saw, I think that meme that's going around with Cassius Howe talking noise to the lineman. I'm a defensive player. I love that. That's the dog, right? But when you see that, man, it's different. There's a different feel to this team. I texted you that this coming out of that second half, this is what a championship contender looks like. This is what they look like. They put their foot on their throat and they choke people out. And if we can continue to do that week in and week out, and understanding that each and every week is its own season. It's its own season. We have 4 seasons left. All right. If we can continue to push forward, man, we can accomplish everything that we set out at the beginning of the season.
It's such a unique position to be in. When you see, okay, so talk about that fine line, all right? The Cassius, I want my defensive linemen to, be chewing at the bone, right? And I love that.
Yep.
But the fine line of playing with that kind of emotion, and then also like the Des Ricks penalty that, was just such a boneheaded play. And by the way, I know that people are kind of like, hey, they keep throwing at Des. I think for the most part, you tell me what you think. I think his coverage has been pretty good. Guys are making great catches, but they are throwing to him a lot.
Yeah, Des has been the best corner that we've had all year long, the most consistent guy, right? When you talk about walking that line, I told you, man, defense is about chaos. It's organized chaos, right? And you want to be able to create that. The thing that I love what Cassius Howe did, you saw a guy that looked ferocious, right? Just like he's ready to tear your head off. That's what you want defensively, because I guarantee you, man, that lineman, I don't know what his name is, went back and you started messing with his mentality, his mental. And I told you, offense is about chemistry. It's about flow. And you are messing with the flow. And that starts breaking down from a mental game to the physical game. But, man, walking that fine line, I would rather have defensive players that I have to say whoa to versus go. Okay. And if I have those type of players, I'm going to win a lot more games than I lose, because I told you defense is about want to. I want to whoop your butt. I want to beat you to a pulp. I want to knock the living life out of you on defense, but it's controlled chaos. And I think that's what you're seeing, man. You're seeing everybody play balance. You're seeing everybody play together. You're seeing guys communicate on defense. You're seeing our linebackers come in and play well. Defensive line is creating chaos. Our DBs are stepping up and making plays. We're playing together. But the coach side of me, I hate the bye week right now. I hate it. I have to get my guys refocused. Everybody's going to love on them. We made a statement. We made ourselves known to the nation. Regroup and get everybody back centered. Now, this is where the coaching part comes in, and this is where I have the belief in Elco now, because I've seen the consistency from year 1 to year 2, and I think we'll be fine moving forward.
Well, I also think, too, this team hasn't done anything yet, right? And I know Coach Elco is going to remind them of that, because they were in a similar position, although not as unblemished, right? They're unblemished. They're 8-0. They were 7-1 last year at this point. So, they haven't done anything yet. And honestly, hopefully, they're just pretty much midway through their season. Hopefully, they're playing 15 games, right?
Yep. And the biggest thing with that, too, is I think the thing that nobody's really talking about on a national scale is the depth. I think one of the best things that's happened with guys going down early in the season, it's allowed the depth to play significant amounts. And I think if you're looking at last year to this year, when we had guys go down, especially the most notable was Le'Veon Moss, you saw kind of a fall off. Now with the guys going down earlier in the year, we've seen it from the defensive side now to the offensive side. There has been no drop off. And that's where the coaching element, that's where the player acquisition element, that's where that standard or that culture, for lack of a better word, comes in. And this is where I think you're going to see it really shine. Because what do they always say? You remember November, right? Now's the time. And every single player wants that moment. They want that opportunity to play on the big stage. That's why I came to A&M. I came to A&M. I got the offers from Texas to Oklahoma's. I didn't want that. I wanted to be the one that helped resurrect and build something, right? This is their opportunity to do that and go down as one of those special teams. So I think, man, building that bond, understanding what the task is, that's going to bring you closer together as a unit. But also when you have players that have played significant time that weren't the starters, it's also a different bond as well, because I know that I have contributed to this. It's a different mentality and mindset when it comes to that. So I think that's been a blessing in disguise for us with guys going down early, because it's allowed everybody to buy in, because you know that you had a vital role in building this and continuing to build out what we're doing as a team.
Jordan, at this pace, I feel like Marcel will be invited to New York. Now,
He better at this pace.
But do you feel that too?
I feel like we have been the most. I want to be careful when I say this. I feel like we've been the most disrespected number 3 team in the nation. Okay, you got an 8-0 football team. You got Marcel that has improved every single week. You have a defense that has improved every single week. Of course, we still have gaps. We still have things that we got to fine tune. But man, the way that we are going out and we are dominating people at the end, the way that we are finding ways to win at every phase of the game. And then when you look at what Marcel's doing from a leadership standpoint, how he's making plays, creating plays, why are we not being talked about more? Now, the coach and player side of me likes that. I like the fact that nobody's talking about us, because it keeps everything steady. It keeps a singular focus. But if Marcel continues to move how he's doing, how he's playing, continues to propel us offensively, like I said earlier, we go as far as he goes, he better be in the Heisman race. There's no reason why. You're in the best conference. You're the undefeated team in the conference. You're on a trajectory to Atlanta. Yes, he should be there without a shadow of a doubt.
Who do you think has the best resume in college football right now? What team?
I think between us and Bama.
Okay.
I think Bama's
not Indiana?
No. Outside of Oregon, they haven't really played any threat yet, right? Now they look good. You're supposed to beat teams the way they are, and the way that they're beating teams, they're obliterating teams. Yeah, but as far as resume, the gauntlet that we've had to go through, the gauntlet that Alabama's had to go through, I think those are the top 2 resumes. If you had us 1 and 2, okay, I understand that. Let's say if we fast forward this thing and we meet Alabama in the SEC championship, that's a scary matchup, because that's a team that's clicking. That's a team that had their wake-up call week 1, and they've been rolling ever since. But as far as that, I think we're the 2 best. I can make an argument for us in number 1, but I wouldn't be upset if they had Alabama at that spot just based off the resume.
And what about Ohio State?
No, I think they should be top 4, number 4. They haven't had that challenge yet. It hasn't come up yet. Now, I think that they're a legit team. I understand why they're number 1, and they have every reason to put them there. But I've yet to see them challenged. I've yet to see them face the adversity yet. It's coming at some point. Every team is going to face that at some point in the season. I don't know what they're going to do yet. And then Julian's saying, he's been playing well, but I don't know what he looks like when the bullets are in his face. That's going to be a true test. I'm interested to see how that plays out.
Jordan, I appreciate you, sir. Thanks very much.
All right, man. Let's do it.
Talk to you next week. Jordan Pugh on the Bubby's Catering and Bartending Hotline. We'll hit a break. We'll talk a little Brian Cortana on the other side. They've had a great fall. We'll chit-chat with him. Right now, a moment for Caldwell Country Chevrolet, Highway 21 in Caldwell, online at caldwellcountrychevrolet.com. All right, so when you are looking for a new vehicle, it is a stressful process, because God, I got to spend, like, cars now cost this, and I don't have time to go there. I got a football season to worry about. My weekends are about tailgating and Aggie football. Start your search online at caldwellcountrychevrolet.com and make it super simple. I'll dumb it down for you. Great pricing, great trade-in value for your vehicle, and great customer service. There you go. You already got it. So whatever car you're looking for, let them find it for you, because you're going to be blown away by the entire process when you shop at Caldwell Country Chevrolet. They're locally owned. They got an Aggie alumni team, and they're going to roll out that red carpet for you And remember, it's not a far drive. We're talking 15 minutes, the edge of Bryan to the beginnings of Caldwell. A short conversation away, but you'll see the difference when you step on the lot and do business with the great people at Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Highway 21 in Caldwell. Online, CaldwellCountryChevrolet.com.
The Aggies are ready to finish what they started. Bring the noise.
Bring the noise.
TexAgs Live has the coverage on the Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM.
I wish I had Olin here for it because he loves energy drinks. Catalyst